What people don't understand is that the children have a right to be here, right? So they're asylum seekers. So they call the people illegals. Most of the children are asylum seekers, meaning they're fleeing horrific violence or oppression or political, and it's something they're fleeing. And what's really happening is they're fleeing the drug war. So the
neoliberalism.
The neoliberal, really, they're really fleeing neoliberalism. So our stupid drug war in Central America has made things more violent, and they're fleeing. So that's what, and so when those kids get here, and if they are appointed a lawyer, 9 times out of 10, they get to stay here. If they're appointed a lawyer, which most times they're not, but if they are, and we're gonna get to that part of the story too in just a minute. In just a minute, I'm gonna get to that part. But what I wanted to show you now was, here's Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris was on MSNBC, and she was, so a lot of people are calling for just get rid of ICE. They were calling for the Democrats to stand up and defund ICE and say, we're not gonna fund it anymore. You won't get our votes, you won't be able to pass, but you won't be able to do this stuff. We're gonna filibuster, they're not, of course the Democrats aren't gonna do that. They wouldn't even stand up for DACA. They rolled over like that on DACA, the Democrats. What good are they? Nothing. So a lot of people are calling for the abolishment of ICE. Now remember, ICE was invented after 9/11. We never had ICE until after 9/11. And so when they invented ICE to deal with immigration, they put it under the Department of Homeland Security. And what does that do? That says that immigration is a threat to our homeland security. That means you treat immigrants as potential terrorists. Our whole goddamn, which is, how big of a switch is that from give me your poor, tired, huddled masses yearning to be free, and now, hey, those huddled masses are probably terrorists, better lock them up. That's how far we've come in this country. So here's Kamala Harris. She's considered, wait till you hear this, she's considered the leading progressive on immigration issues in the Senate, Kamala Harris. So you'd think she'd be for getting rid of ICE, because we already have in play. Well, here she is. Here's what she says.
Should ICE exist?
Should ICE exist? Well, certainly when we're talking about people who.
So first of all, she says, certainly, should ICE exist? Not like, well, I understand the calls to abolish it. We certainly didn't need it up before 2001. I don't know why we need it now. We have police force in place to deal with criminals. We already have an INS service. She didn't say that. She goes, certainly.
Did you see her initial reaction was like,
what are you, crazy,
what kind
Chris?
of question? Like, she wasn't expecting the question.
Right.
She's like, that's a dumb question.
Yeah. Should ICE exist? Here we go.
Should ICE exist?
Should ICE exist? Well, certainly when we're talking about people who have committed serious and violent crimes, Chris, you know my background, I'm a prosecutor.
Yep.
I believe that there needs to be serious, severe, and swift consequence when people commit serious and violent crimes. One human being kills another human being, a woman is raped, a child is molested, there needs to be serious consequence.
What does that have to do with ICE?
What does that have to do with ICE? If someone commits a serious crime, like they molest someone, rape someone, murder someone, by the way, doesn't she sound just like Trump when she's talking about immigrants?
She does.
That's what Trump sounds like.
I thought she was talking about the people in ICE.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, right? For a second, I was like, really? That makes sense.
Yeah. When there's murders or rapists,
and then they go nice.
We got to form a group of them and give them government, funding.
Give them a gun.
Give them a gun. Yeah.
So what she's saying is that, of course, we should have ICE because immigrants are rapists and murderers. Who does that sound like? That sounds like Trump. And guess what, Kamala Harris, you cop? Everyone already knows that we already have a system set up to deal with crimes like murder and rape. What's it called? It's called a goddamn police force. If somebody commits a murder or a rape, there's a cop around to investigate it. And if it's an immigrant who did it, they go to trial, and if they're guilty, they get deported. That's how it works. You don't need this extra agency called ICE, which was invented after 9/11 that treats immigrants like terrorists. That's not needed.
Jimmy, you're mistaken. I'm sorry. Before 2001, in terms of before ICE, if an immigrant committed a violent crime, there was nothing to be done.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah,
they just scot-free.
No laws.
No, yeah, it was like they had diplomatic immunity.
This is Kamala Harris pretending what he said. That before ICE existed, when immigrants committed crimes, nothing, oh, damn it. I wish I could do something. I wish they would invent an organization that prosecutes criminals when they commit crimes. I mean, immigrants. I wish they would invent, what do we need, 9/11 before we start prosecuting murders by immigrants? That's crazy. So back to Kamala Harris. Let's see how she ends this.
Certainly, if they are undocumented, they should be deported if they commit those serious and violent offenses. So yes, ICE has a purpose, ICE has a role, ICE should exist.
You tell me what's the difference between that and what Donald Trump says. You tell me what's different about that and what Donald Trump says. Go ahead, in the comments or wherever you're watching this, on whatever platform, please let me know. How is that different from what Donald Trump, that's exactly what Jeff Sessions is saying. That's exactly what Laura Ingraham is saying. That's exactly what Donald Trump is saying. Kamala Harris, the senator from the bluest of blue states, sounds like a racist Nazi. That's what she sounds like. That's Kamala Harris. That's what she sounds like when she says that.
Hashtag resistance.
Are you sick and tired of corporate Democrats as much as we are? Do you think we can have what the rest of the world has? Then come watch the Aggressive Progressives with us on the Young Turks Network.